Welcome to Season 2 of Digging Deeper Ag Chats with Al, the podcast that brings you timely and practical stories straight from the paddock. From sowing to shearing, fire to flood, and everything in between. We're here when it matters most. Each episode taps into real experiences, expert voices, and grounded advice that helps you stay ahead on farm. I'm Alistair from the Gippsland Ag Group, a grassroots farmer-led network in Gippsland, focusing on soil, grain and fodder, pasture and livestock. We're here to support producers in building resilient and profitable enterprises across our region. So let's dig in. Welcome to Digging Deeper. We have a regular Morgan Davies in. How you going, Morgs?
Good, Al.
Now, you stink like a cow. Where have you come from?
No, I just got freshly out of the shower.
Freshly out of the shower?
Happy to be here. No, I've been at Leongatha today, down to the Leongatha store sales, about close to 6,000 cattle down there, and there's a lot of East Gippsland cattle sent down there, so we went down to represent our clients on a very good day.
Well, we'll talk about that a bit more in a minute because we've actually got another guest in, another pink shirt in, Madi Gallagher. How you going?
Good, Al. How are you?
Morgan has kindly given up some of his own podcast time slot, he says, to allow Maddie to come in and talk about herself. So,
Mum was twisted, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the big boss, did he have a word to you?
Yeah, he said you got to get Maddie on, mate. She's got the tonsils better than Kamal's. So
the dulcet tones of Maddie. There's a reason why you're in though, Maddie, so we'll talk about that in a second. But who are you and where have you come from?
So I'm Maddie. I am the district wool manager here in Gippsland. I work out of Bairnsdale, but I cover wool producers. I've got clients down in Phillip Island, around Wilson's Prom area, and all the way up to Omeo and Benambra. Yeah,
so a lot of hours in the car. And did you grow up around the area, did you, or you're new to the area?
Yeah, no, I grew up in Hayfield for my entire life and just moved away to study and then come back to Bairnsdale.
So study, university, what did you study down there?
I did a double degree in agricultural science and commerce at La Trobe Uni.
And straight out of uni, what did that turn into?
Straight out of uni.
Yep.
While I was in Melbourne, I had a lot of experience working in different wool stores down in the industrial area of Melbourne. Worked for several different wool brokers on the show floors and doing auction day activities. And then when I graduated uni, I became a full-time wool buyer for Seagard Mazarell.
And how long were you with them before you moved up to Bairnsdale?
I was 12 months with Seagard before I come down here, but I had about 3 years with the other brokers in Melbourne before that. Yep.
So you're a spring chicken. I didn't realise you were so young. You've moved up here and you've ended up, we can actually say that you're sleeping with the enemy because your partner is Billy and you actually
they're not married yet, so let's not,
Yeah, still waiting on that.
Oh, so they're holding hands with the enemy?
Yeah, holding hands, that's right.
Yeah. Now you
get a hint, Billy.
Got the block, not the rock.
Yeah, well, there we go. So you've actually just purchased a chunk of land. Tell us a bit about your recent purchase.
Yeah, we recently brought a couple of acres out in the swamp country, out in Lindeno South.
Good country out there, Al.
Excellent.
Fertile.
Yep. So that was back in March. We've been there a couple of months now. So if you want any tips on how to get as much stock onto 74 acres as possible, I've probably got some points.
Yeah, so what would you say your DSE is out there at the minute?
Well, look, it's too much.
Too much.
Too high.
Too high.
And what are your aspirations for that block? You got things you want to do to it, are you?
Yeah, we're looking, starting this summer, some summer crops to go in, pasture improvements, potentially set up a feedlot out the back, which we've done a little bit of in the past. Just trying to get the most we can off a small parcel, pretty much.
Yeah, well, you'll drive past Morgan's place probably pretty regularly and a bit envious of what's going on at his place. He's always got lots of things going on there, don't you, Morgs?
Yeah, usually all the wrong things.
Right.
But
no, well, I reckon it looks all right, your block. You've done a good job and look forward to seeing yours, Maddie, in a couple of years' time as well. Now let's swing over to the main reason you're in here. Gippsland Breeders Merino sale has just happened. Just this Tuesday it was. This goes out to air on Friday, so very recent. Firstly, how did it go?
We had the stud sale on Tuesday, and it's the second year we've had it here at the Gippsland Group Centre.
And how good a facility is it? It's fantastic what you guys provide for us. And the follow-up service and everything we have from the GAG group. So we would like to thank them very much.
Yeah, definitely. As long as you will keep having us here, we'll keep coming back. The feedback we've had from buyers, the stud, the atmosphere, it just adds a level of professionalism to our sales. So that's been really successful the last 2 years. The sale itself, I believe we had a pretty positive outcome. Obviously, the wool market has been a bit subdued over the last 12 months, and some recent sales in the lead up to our sale sort of had us a bit on edge. But I think we've come away with a really satisfying result.
Yeah, with a couple of nervous vendors going into the sale. I know the need for rams are probably a bit lower than usual just with the seasonal conditions. And
you know what they say, no rams, no lambs.
Yeah, that's copyrighted, isn't it, from down the road? We can't use it.
I don't know, is it? I drop it all the time.
Oh,
Scratch that.
Dump it.
Yeah, no, we will. But no, it was a good atmosphere on the day, and you've got some numbers there. Tell us some numbers, what you've put together.
So we had 120 rams, so that's down about 20 rams from previous years, but that was just a decision that the vendors made in response to perhaps some of the demands that were rumoured beforehand. We averaged as a sale overall 1,937. So that's down from last year, but still a really reasonable result, and probably exceeded our expectations, I would say.
Yeah, and did you mention the pass-in rate? What was the pass-in rate?
So we sold 92 of the 120, so that was on par with last year.
Yeah. Was there any noticeable buyers that weren't present, or just people buying less overall?
Yeah. So we have a number of volume buyers that come across from Hamilton, Kyneton, Bendigo, which come over and they put a really good base in our market, particularly in the Pendara clients. So it's really great to have their support, and they drive all the way over here for that sale. So we really appreciate that. A couple of clients missing this year for various reasons, which left some holes in some of the smaller studs. They don't have the same volume buyers that support their sales, so just due to the nature of their size. So we did see a little bit of a gap there. Yeah. Yep.
So on the day, we took out the top ram price.
Yeah, so that was Calvin and Jackie Pendergast from Pendara. It was one of their pole rams, and it made $6,000.
Yeah.
They also had 2 rams make $5,500, both horned rams, so they weren't too far behind. But that top price ram was purchased by Alan and Nolene Smith from Innisfail, and notably they also won the Elders Clip of the Year just recently as well, and they've been on those Pendara genetics for a long time, so it's working for them really well.
Yeah, I actually learnt that those guys have been on Pendara for over 20 years, I think now, solely.
Yeah.
So
ever since Alan took over the management from his father, they made the change to Pendara, which he said wasn't... it was actually quite an easy decision. He thought he'd get a bit more headwind from his old man, but it's been a great decision for them.
They were Merino based before them as well.
Yes,
yep. And they're actually fairly local to Pendara too, aren't they, up at the high country?
Yeah. So Pendara up in Benambra, and then Innisfail that purchased the ram, the Smiths in Innisfail, so not too far away.
Yep. Yeah. It's good to hear. It would be pleasing for a stud to see his clients do really well, I imagine. So
that's it. It's the best advertisement you could ask for.
Yeah, that's it. We'll just move on quickly. Now, Morgan on the podcast loves to make predictions, and unfortunately, he's often right. So it's time for you to make a prediction. Where's the wool industry going, Maddie?
Yeah, so anyone that listens knows that we've got a few headwinds at the moment.
What are they, if you're not a woolly? What are we looking at? What's the main headwinds?
Yeah, so just our prices have been less than extraordinary for a little while now, and the growers are really starting to feel the pinch, and it's really hard to justify the investment in the industry when you're not getting paid probably what you deserve. It would be nice to be getting that $3,000 a bale, but we're probably more about $2,000 a bale at the moment. So if we can get wool prices to rise another $3, then suddenly everything changes. You know, people can start, putting a bit more money into their farms, improving operations, more fert on the ground, that sort of thing. At the moment, we're kind of in a holding pattern, I would suggest. So that's just a result of changes in our global economy over the last few years. changes in buying trends. We're living in an increasingly more casual society, so suiting fabrics, that sort of thing, a lot less popular at the moment.
And so what about the lamb price? Has that been helping your clients?
Well, it's certainly a lot better this year to have those lamb prices back up there. Last year there wasn't a lot of silver lining to look at, with our wool prices being low and the lamb price not exceptional either. But this year it's certainly helping our wool producers that they are able to turn off a few lambs and make a bit more money.
Yeah, well,
And that cull sheep price.
I was going to say,
yeah.
mutton has probably been the biggest lifter of the
trebled,
lot. So
quadrupled.
yeah, someone said 1,000% on some of their stock, which is incredible. Now, Morgs, let's talk to you now. You're getting a bit bored there, a bit restless.
It's not about me.
We'll swing over to you. Tell us what's happening. We'll start with the cattle, your babies.
Yeah,
where are we going?
Oh, it's an exciting time. It's just as I said, we were at Leongatha earlier today, and it's all trending and boding well. It was raining at the time. Probably the dearest cattle sale I've seen for 2 or 3 years. Well, since the cattle crash, really. So, plenty of big black heavy feeder steers making above $3,000 at 520 kilos. It's not a super heavy steer to make that sort of money. So, it's pretty exciting. And
what's that workout since?
$5.20 to $5.50.
Yeah, right.
So they're all going back on feed. Then your lighter black steers, feature line. Justin Taylor's cattle from Daleston. Really.
Is that Juzzy?
Juzzy.
Shout out to me, mate, Juzzy. Yeah.
Juzzy. He had the best presented runner black cattle there. He had about 90 odd steers. They were 430 or 40 kilos down to 390 kilos, and they averaged $2,300. So, they're only calves, 12 months old. He'd bit of supplementary feed, and they all went back to butchers at $5.50. So we're seeing some things that we haven't seen before. We've seen cattle making more than we've seen before in the store and restocking pens. And I think with grass, because South Gippsland's starting to grow now.
I was going to ask that.
It's starting to kick away. I think with grass, there'll be some grass markets where it just becomes, frenzied, I believe. So that's a big call. But a lot of people in the market looking for cattle. I think in a fortnight or a month when October hits and a bit of sun comes out and GWS win the premiership.
That's a big call, that one.
Another prediction.
They're a smoky, though. We'll talk about footy later.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, you're just asking for predictions.
Sorry.
I was just sort of just going down the channel, just throwing as many as I could out there. But no, I think that with feed, I think we're going to see some pretty extraordinary results. And for all the people that were fed cattle and went through that dry South Gippsland autumn, which was horrendous up until June, July. Even now you can drive across the paddocks where being a kid coming from there, driving across the paddocks in the middle of August, no chance. Yeah, no chance. And, we've been doing that all the way through. So a mild winter's been good. It's the best thing you can have in South Gippsland's a mild winter and a bit of rain now. So it was raining there. Cattle job's good. It's all bouncing in the right direction.
Yep. So are they right for moisture or are they still
No, they need
more?
I think they need some down-filling rain now. Their investment in their water infrastructure probably hasn't been the grandest in the past 20 years.
Well, there's been no need, has there?
Yeah, well, if it keeps coming from the sky, why worry? But I think they certainly got pretty nervous, and some of those big super dairies and things like that soak up so much water were very nervous. So, yep, they get a big rain, and it'll just follow along. Forward pricing is heading into sort of December as dear as we've seen it for the past ever, really. So, it's all boding very well, and the requirement for feedlot cattle, 400 to 500 kilos, are really, really good. And then the requirement for your restock of cattle, 250 to 400 kilos, again, very positive. So it's all looking really, really good. Your cull cattle, the cull cows, topped at Bensdale at $4.35 for a 685 kilo of a keen listener of ours, Barry Newcomen.
Yep.
He had cows make $3,000. And bulls are making close to $4. So they're 900 kilos, 1,000 kilos making $4. It's nearly what you paid for them at the start. So, it's all trending really, really well. But the key to it is, folks, keep weight on your cattle if you can. So invest in a crop, invest in a bit of good veg hay, invest in a bit of feed, and you'll get the results. Your cattle are light and poor, they're going to make less because they weigh less.
All right. Now I'll swing over to the sheep. What's happening in the sheep job?
Yeah, sucker lambs are coming. They're just starting to filter through. I think we'll see a flush of suckers come, and then it'll stop people shear lambs and try and put weight on their lambs. I think we might have seen the best of it in terms of dollars per kilo pricing. I think we've seen some good sucker lambs making $11 to $12 and things like that. It's only numbers driven, and as soon as numbers increase, because there's going to be a lot of lambs come on, usually as the sun comes out and shines, all the lambs come on at the same time. So I think, at $11 for a good sucker lamb at 23, 24 kilos, it's $250. Take that money all day long. But the thing is, it's those secondary lambs that are making 150 to 190, and they're pretty light. So those lambs are getting shorn and tipped out to be going on grain soon to come in at about Christmas time. So all those little light restocker lambs look very dear to me.
Yeah. No, people that are trying to chase a few lambs are getting forced out with prices.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, and a lot of people invested. And that's the thing about buying store lambs. It's sort of a 2-in-1 anomaly. 1 year you make money out of it, and then 2 you sort of chase your tail trying to get back to what you did do.
How do we even it out, Morgs? There's a question for you to mull over till the next month.
Yeah, we've got to convince all the Western District blokes and the North East blokes not to buy lambs. We'll buy them up. That's what we do.
Yeah.
How we do that, I don't know.
Yeah, no, too many crops going to ground over there, so they need.
Tell them to get into the wool job, maybe.
The wool job.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a few extra rams over here for them.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't wait for the wool market to go through the roof so I can slam you in a market report one day.
Yeah, well, you get to be welcome back. So,
invite only though.
Yeah. But cull sheep again are very, very good, like $7 and whatever for a cull ewe. It's extraordinary money and thoroughly deserved to all the people that stayed in and fed their stock. So bring it on.
Very good. Now, anything else from you, Maddie, before we wrap up?
So we're beginning to see a lot more shearing in the district starting about now. So we've had some pretty small wool sales over the last couple of weeks, and we've had the 3-week recess. So that's helped us see some better prices both this week and last week. Had a really successful sale yesterday. Some wool from Omeo area making $1,900 a bale, and that was excluding all of their top lines.
Excluding, did you say?
Yeah, excluding. So we've...
what sort of microns are we talking there?
Yeah, we're talking 16s and 17s. Yeah. And we'll hold on to those better lines for a little bit longer because I do see some upside in the wool market in the future. The broad merinos going really well, crossbreds travelling really well. We're talking 85 plus on our percentile for those crossbred bulls. So really starting to see people cover their cost of shearing, $500 plus per bale for crossbred clips on that 28 micron, and some 22 micron crossbred hoggets yesterday making above $9 a kilo, which was exceptional.
I actually sent some bales down recently. Do you remember my?
Oh, I'd have to get them up on my phone.
Yeah, it was 2 bales of crossbred wool, and I think it was about $1,800 for the 2 bales. So I was pleased.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed you don't remember my figures, Mad. So.
Sorry. But I do see there's some upside. The biggest hole in the merino wool market at the moment is the super fine end. We've seen the premiums really fall away. But at the moment we're seeing really steady quote unquote small increases week to week, but that's the kind of sustainable increase which we want to see. If we see a massive spike, we're likely to
falls off somewhere
to scare off the Chinese market. They're a very nervous buyer, so they don't like to see rapid changes. And also buyers are starting to become increasingly concerned about the lack of wool on the market. We've been rumouring it for a long time, people going out of sheep, and it seems that they've finally started to listen, and the Chinese have started to take that on board as well, and they're taking that a lot more seriously, which hopefully will bode in our favour.
Right, so they still want wool. They're not shutting down mills over.
No, it would cost them far too much money to let mills sit idly. Yep. What we've been seeing over the last year, where we have been struggling, is just a lot more hand-to-mouth buying and a lot less stockpiling of wool. They're just buying what they need to keep the machines ticking. Yeah. And then when we see an upturn in demand from consumers, that's when we'll start to really ramp up buying and get a bit more wool through the system.
All right, explain this to me. Am I right to ask a question?
I'll allow it this once.
Allow it? Okay, so during the wool boom, when was the wool boom? In the 70s, wasn't it? Or the 80s? 70s?
Yeah,
Maddie,
before my time.
Maddie was about -40 at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Carry on.
who was buying the wool then? Like, I know everyone bangs on about all the wool and how much there was, and Australia was born on the back of a merino, but where was it sold to?
Yeah. So China's still a massive consumer back then, but Europe's really come off the ticker since then.
Right, so
They used to buy a lot more.
Europeans, it's their fault. Right, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, that's you could use that as your interesting thing you've learnt today if you like.
No.
No.
No. I've got to think of that yet.
Oh, you got to think of that. All right. Well, anything else on the wool job before we move on?
I think that wraps it up for me.
Oh, very good. Now, I got bailed up. I actually umpired a game of reserves footy out at Lindenow the other day, Morgs. And after the game, I got bailed up by this nice young fella saying, "Where's me hat?"
Somewhat cocky. Is he a bit cocky? Was he sort of swaggering around a bit?
Very respectful fella.
Did you yellow card him?
No, this is after the game. I don't know if it's possible. He was a young Stewart. I missed his first name. Who would it be?
Would have been Joel Stewart, Joel, who we gave a plug to on the...
Yeah, he said he listens, and he's been pestering Morgs politely, he said, for a long time for a hat. Now,
I'm surprised you can remember. He had about 14 Bundys when he asked me.
Yeah, well, he must he's been... So here's your hat. Joel, is it?
Yeah, Joel, yep.
Yeah, there it is. I'm going to show you, handing it over to Morgs.
Yep.
If that doesn't get to you, Jolie, follow me up, and we'll go and speak
I'll deliver it to Stratford to your house, Joel.
Is he a Stratford boy?
Yeah, well, he moved down there, just bought a house.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations. So, anyway, I did say I would organise a hat, so there's your hat.
You'll get it, Joel.
Now, we're coming to the end of our session here, but Mads, I gave you fair warning about this question. What is something that you've learnt recently that surprised you?
Yep, I've been losing sleep over this question because I couldn't think of anything, and then I thought of 3 things.
Yeah, well, pick your
Well,
best
only
one.
one, Maddie.
Yeah, pick your best one.
Well, recently I've been having some conversations with some stud guys from up the Riverina, and we're talking about nutrition leading up to merino ram sales and how we prepare rams to be purchased. And micron. So we were talking about different studs and how their micron varies over the years. And what we come to was an increase in protein consumed by the rams leading up to the sale prep and the way it can blow out the microns. So different studs which may have run short on feed and they didn't have it in the paddock, so they come out of the silo that the lambs were getting finished off, like a lamb finisher mix, and it's blown their microns, 2-3 micron above where they normally are. So we're talking about, that increased like high protein feeds prior to sale prep and how it can blow out your micron, and that really surprised me.
So, question for you.
So you're better off starving him.
Yeah, make them finer.
Yeah,
Bring him right out.
There's actually what do they call it? Expression, hungry fine or something, is it?
Hungry fine.
Yeah, hungry fine. So there's a lot of sheep that go to a certain property, all of a sudden they're 2 micron less because they're starving pretty much. So, but they can get a bit tender though when they go like that.
The tenderness comes when there's a change, so they can be really well fed and then hungry and they'll go tender, or they can be
other way around,
really, really hungry for a long time and suddenly get feed and they'll also go tender. So it's all right for them to be hungry as long as they're consistently hungry.
Starving, yeah. Okay.
I was actually possibly a mentor of yours, Mel. Is he?
Yeah.
You speak to him a bit still.
Yeah.
He was telling me once there was a drench on the market that was breaking everyone's wool because it was working too well. So
making them too healthy.
Yeah. So, but just that change in
rapid change.
Yep, and it was breaking their wool, but they were improving. So he said, be careful of that drench or whatever. It was a while ago.
Don't look after them too well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the evenness of everything is what's really important with the merino game, and that's why. Here at the research farm, we actually don't, because we've got really big feed gaps and wedges, and it's just really hard to keep the good condition on those merinos consistently over the year. So the old fat crossbred or the composite, you actually can lack a band a bit better and not worry about it. Morgs, I've given you enough time now. Yeah, can we do 2 interesting things today?
No, just one. Collective nouns. You know what a collective noun is, being a former school teacher.
Is that like a prickle of porcupines?
A prickle of porcupines or a squadron of pelicans.
Right.
The collective noun for people that own sheep studs and cattle studs when they all get together.
Right.
They're called muffins.
Muffins.
Stud muffins. That's it.
Right.
I thought it had to be a serious one.
Oh, does it?
No, not serious. Nothing serious anymore. I've got another one actually about collective nouns for you.
Yeah.
What do you call two crows sitting on a fence?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Attempted murder.
Hey.
All right, that's all.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
See ya.
Bye for now. A big thank you for tuning in today. And remember, if you have a question about today's episode or a topic you'd like us to cover, reach out to one of our many platforms and join the conversation. We're here because of your passion and commitment to agriculture. Together, we can build a stronger farming future.
This podcast is made possible by the Future Drought Fund Regional Drought Resilience Planning Program, co-funded by the Victorian and Australian governments.